Here's a look at MetLife Stadium here in East Rutherford. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Buffalo Bills and the New York Jets. Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. Taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. So here come the Bills on offense for the first time. And leading them, Charles, their quarterback, their field general. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Flush to his right. Now he'll pull it down. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
Partner, it's often the man coverage is easier for a quarterback to run against. You get your receivers going downfield. Those guys are staying with them, and oftentimes they have their back to the quarterback, which opens up a lot of space and room, and they don't even know that he's taking off with it.
And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. DeAndre Swift, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Bills have taken the early lead. Well, if they didn't get the wake-up call before the game, they got it right now. 2 plays already in the end zone.
I think of it in boxing terms because whether it's a big shot with your first one or a probing one, a little bit of a jab, the second one was the payoff. That was the big one that landed. 1-2, end zone.
So they went for 2 and failed. They didn't use him on the PAT, but now he boots this one away with a 6-0 lead. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24.
The Jets take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard.
Darnold going to lead the Jets up now 1st and 10 at their own 24. They'll run. This is Jonathan Taylor. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front.
And the Bills are going to get him as he goes down. Montez Sweat. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him.
3rd down.
Throwing here on 3rd down, Darnold. He'll drop this down to Taylor. And this effort will not get it done. He stopped well short of the first down at the 29. Call it a pickup of 3, and also now likely a punt on their opening drive.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Devin Singletary with his first carry of the game. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
The tackle made at the...
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And
a big loss here as he's taken down. And their inaugural sack of the game coming from an unlikely source.
You mean it wasn't a linebacker? It wasn't a defensive end?
It was somebody like you.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, that's a surprise for the offense.
That's caught at the 25. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. Stephon Diggs, 78 yards. And the Bills will add on to their lead.
There's not much that's perfect in football, but that's about as close to it as you're going to get. Score, force a punt, score again.
And both drives were impressive. The opening drive was, that last one was. Now on the other, oh, and now they're going to fake it. And he gets in. When no one was expecting a fake there, but they add 2 more onto their lead. And that's something you almost never see nowadays. When you fake it, you're at the 15-yard line on a PAT as opposed to just going for it from the 2.
I'm sorry. I know they got it, and congratulations to them, but it's just not a good play. I mean, the risk-reward is really off the charts. Not in your favor. Run your offense out there. Put it on the 2-yard line if you want to go for 2. But I'll be darned. They ended up getting that one, didn't they?
At their own 21-yard line.
Back onto the field come the New York Jets for their second drive. They've been outplayed early, no question. Down 14-0 already as they come up 1st and 10. They'll run with Taylor to begin the drive. He'll be dropped at the 30. The shifty move got him a couple extra on the play. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
Brings up 2nd and 2.
From the gun, it's Taylor. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 34-yard line.
To throw is Darnold. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. For 17 yards for the Jets there as they've got themselves a 1st down.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed 1st down there. They've needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
1st and 10, Taylor now. Despite the strong run, he'll be hit and dropped shy of the 45. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd.
They give to Taylor out of the gun. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Now 3rd and 8.
Push him back. Push him back.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
14. Jets, nothing.
And they'll need the 39 here for a 1st. This is 3rd down. A shotgun snap for Darnold. And that is incomplete.
It certainly didn't appear that that's where he wanted to go with the ball initially, so he tried to get something out of it by dumping it off to his running back unsuccessfully.
Here's Braden Mann now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And out of bounds, sailed over, looked like right near the pylon. This one's going to be perfect. Directional kicking at its finest, right down at the 1-yard line. Could not have thrown that out there any better. When the ball hit the ground, I thought it might go into the end zone the way it was angling, but perfectly jutting out at the 1.
You think maybe what we saw in practice came into play there? You know, he put those big cans down on the sideline and then angled for him and shot for him. Looks like it worked out pretty well for him, too.
A 14-yard gain there as they look to improve this 14-point lead.
Partner, I think that play echoed a short yardage run. I know they're backed against their own goal line, but when they stack the defensive line like that, if you find any type of a crease, you're up to the 3rd level before you know it.
Shrugs off another. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best 1st half for them, but they did do a nice job there forcing a loss on that play.
14-yard line, 2nd and 11. And not much there at all. He's up only to about the 16-yard line. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And he is going to have a Bills first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Give them 22 there on the third down conversion. So, Charles, here we are heading towards midseason. It has not been the greatest of starts for this quarterback. He's had so much success in his career, but many on social media, the morning talk shows, wondering if he's lost his fastball, so to speak. What have you seen?
Well, a good bit of what you were just talking about there, and let's face it, the debate has been on for a little while now. But his morning talk shows, all the TV shows, in the newspapers, you name it. Bottom line is, he is not the same player that we've seen in the past. We know he's going to be a Hall of Famer. I'm just wondering if it's running through his mind right now, if he's trying to decide, is this my last year or not? And if so, will the head coach and will the team stick with him as the starter as they head down the stretch?
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. That ball caught by the former Toledo Rocket, Deontay Johnson. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. Deontay Johnson, his first touchdown on the year. And the Bills will add on to their lead. So simple math here in the first half. They've had 3 drives offensively, and they have scored every time, and they've got the lead.
Well, whenever we talk about adjustments, we usually talk about an offense making adjustments, right? This is all about the defense. They've got to figure out some way, somehow to slow them down. Do they blitz a little bit more? Do they play more zone coverage? Right now, they don't know where to go because they're hitting them in every direction.
And it is now 21-0. So that drives 7 plays in length. And it ends in a Buffalo touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That's fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback.
At their own 25-yard
New York ready to go again offensively. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
This defense is really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense got to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Darnold from the gun. Open man is Duvernay. That one good for 12 yards. And that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all. And now they're looking at 3rd down here. And they take him down. The Bills get to him.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
Here's the Jets punter now, as he's on here to punt it away. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. Taken in at the 22. It's a 54-yard punt with a return of 11. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. The Bills ready to take over. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well, so that changes everything that you're doing here. Without those timeouts, you can only work the sidelines, hoping to get out of bounds. Here, the middle of the field is still available because you can call timeout and regroup.
Open man is Asiasi, the tight end. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. He'll find his tight end here, Asiasi. And he's going to have the first down as they move into field goal range here at the 25-yard line. It's another first down as they look his way again, this time 19 yards. That's complete right around the 8. And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Devin Asiasi, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Bills will extend their lead.
Well, we know someone just added to his touchdown passing total, but all he did was get the ball out quickly to his tight end and let him take care of business the rest of the way.
McLaughlin for the extra point. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it culminates in a Bills touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded on the back line of the end zone. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. The Jets offense now works their way back onto the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk is a big decision here.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Laviska Shenault, the intended target, but it's going to be 2nd down.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
It's grabbed over the middle by White. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. A 2nd down completion got him 7. Now here's 3rd and 3. Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. That's taken in by Duvernay. Now the Jets going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. Darnold on 1st down. That's complete to Jonathan Taylor out of the backfield. That catch good for only a couple.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Darnold, and that will be incomplete with a clock showing 18 seconds now to go. Tremaine Edmonds, the linebacker, able to break that one up. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. To the air again, Darnold. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down. The passing game not in sync here early, and now it's 4th down. On is the punter man as he boots this one away. And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked down at about the 3-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. And he will double the space they have to work with as they take it from the 2 to the 4. An abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. The Jets